Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be looking at a new Adobe Premiere Pro preset pack that I've created for you guys all for free. This one's called Audio Effects and includes a bunch of different effects that will allow you to edit your audio quick and efficiently. So the first step is to actually download the preset pack. Click on the link in the description below and that'll take you to this page where you can read all about the pack and see what is included. So now all you have to do is pay what you want, so you can either get it free by simply clicking add to cart, or you can click that up button and support my channel and then click add to cart. So once you click add to cart, I actually have a special offer running right now. You can either accept it or click no thanks. And then once you click download, a link will be sent to your email, or you can click this green button right here and download it directly. Now, once you have downloaded that preset pack, simply right click on your download and click extract all and extract it to a folder location that you can find later. Go back into Premiere Pro and right click on presets and click on import presets. Navigate to wherever you extracted that preset file, double click on it and click on Holland audio preset. Click on open. That will pretty much open the preset under the folder Holland presets and then audio effects right here at the top. So let's jump on into what you can create with this preset. At first, you'll notice that this pack is huge. It has a ton of different effects, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed with it because it's actually very simple to use. Jumping right into the first folder, you'll see that we have audio channel, and it's split between audio channel left and audio channel right. Basically, these will pretty much separate your audio channels to the left ear or the right ear by a certain percentage. So if we drag audio channel left 100% onto our audio track, in this case, I'm working with 4 audio tracks that all equal to 1, so I have to drag the effect on all of them. You'll see that it is basically separating the entire track to the left channel of the audio, and vice versa. If you drag right 100%, it'll separate it to the right ear. As you guessed it, the different percentages, like 75%, will pretty much separate it to the left channel 75%, and you'll have that little bit on the right channel as well. Going on to the next folder labeled extras, you'll see that we have a ton of different bass features. So for this, I'm going to single out my bass track down here and simply add a bass 10 decibels. So you can hear that it is already overwhelming. So a nice thing that you can do is drag on this hard limit will simply allow you to make sure your audio never clips, as you can see in the description. So you drag that on there and it won't actually hurt your ears anymore. But if you're going for that sound of blowing your eardrums, you got that too. So you also have some negative decibel bass, and it'll pretty much remove all of the bass if you don't want any bass. And then a few other things that I have in the extra tab is reverb massive 0% to 100% and reverb massive 100 to 0. This will pretty much allow you to have no reverb, and then when you get to the end, have a ton of reverb. You'll hear that the audio has more reverb. This will be effective when you are trying to fade in or fade out a song. So when I'm using the low pass and high pass effects, I will first go into the constant folder, which will pretty much drag a constant low pass frequency over the entire selected clips. And this is nice so you can kind of start to hear what the different low pass frequencies do. As you can see, 10 is so low, you don't hear anything. 150, we get a little bit more, and like 500, we'll get a little bit more. So this is going to be effective when you are trying to select what frequency you want to use. For this example, I'm going to use 500 as my frequency of choice. So we need to start by selecting what part of our song we want to fade out of. So say we're playing a song, and then we want the song to fade out right here. I'm going to hit C on my keyboard and hold Shift so I cut through all of these clips. And let's designate how long we want this fade to happen. So that looks good like this. All we have to do is select all of our clips and go into the fade out the audio folder. And we know that we want to choose the normal to 500 hertz frequency, because we are going from normal audio track over here and we want to fade it down to 500, which is going to be our constant right over here. So now we want to select the amount of time that we want our audio to play at that frequency. So this looks good right here. Hit C on the keyboard and hold Shift and that will cut through all of those clips. And let's select all of those clips and go to the constant folder and drag on low pass 500 hertz. This will pretty much allow us to go from normal like this, fade down, and then stay at a constant 500 hertz. So now we want to fade the audio back up to normal. So select how long you would like that fade to take place, hit C on the keyboard, and cut that clip to your preference. I'm going to select all of those clips, and I'm going to click on fade in the audio, and I'm going to click on 500 hertz to normal. That will pretty much fade the audio back in like so. So then the song will continue on. Now, I know that seemed like a lot, but honestly, it is so fast and effective. I want you to think about something real quick. I have 4 separate audio tracks. Now, to individually go in and create a low pass filter and do all the effects controls, settings, and all that stuff, it would take about 15 minutes to do what I'm about to do in a couple seconds. Watch this. I'm going to select my fade point, how long I want the fade to happen, and I'm going to select my fade out point. All I have to do is select all the channels to go from normal to 250, select all my constant, which will be 250, and then select my fade back into normal, which is 250 to normal. And just like that, I've created a low pass filter for 4 separate audio channels. So now what I want to do is show you guys what the other effects do. We use 1.1 and 3.1 for that one, as you can see, and there's other ones that start with different frequencies. So in the fade out the audio, we can see that there's a low pass frequency to nothing as well. So the difference between these two is that the first section of the low pass filters, which are normal to a certain frequency, basically take your normal audio, which is like this, and it fades that out to a certain frequency. So if we have normal to 150, you'll see that it fades that out to that frequency. And then the next portion basically takes a certain frequency and fades it out to nothing. Say we have a low pass of 500 on our clip. So it sounds like we're underwater, and we need to just actually fade that audio instead of bringing it back to normal like you would right here. We would simply select how long we want that fade out to happen. We know that we don't need any of the rest of the audio. Highlight all of the clips that we want to fade and go from 500 to nothing. This will pretty much allow us to go from that underwater effect all the way down to nothing. So I'm going to show you another example of how to use the high pass and low pass preset. So under the high pass, I am basically going to decide what I want to happen. Now, the high pass basically allows you to remove all the lows, and it kind of sounds like something like this. So what I want to do is play around with the different frequencies and see what they all sound like. So let's start by fading in from that high pass frequency. So I'm going to select how long I want the fade to happen, highlight all of my layers that I'm affecting, and I want to fade in the audio. So in the fade in the audio, I'm going to fade from nothing to normal sounding audio. So that would sound like this. So that pretty much fades in the audio track to a normal sounding track. So now say like right here, I want to make a cut and I want to fade down the audio to a certain high pass frequency. So I'm going to click how long that fade wants to be, make another cut, and select the area that I want to fade the audio down to a certain frequency. So I'm going to open up fade out the audio, and I'm going to go from normal down to, let's say, 1,000 hertz. And then so that sounds like this. So as you can see, it's starting to fade down. Now I'm going to select how long I want that fade to last, and let's make it this long, and select all of my clips that I want to affect, and drag a constant of 1,000 hertz on there. So that sounds like this. So now this is a constant 1,000 hertz, and say at the very end, I just wanted to fade out the audio to nothing. So I'm going to select all the clips, and I'm going to fade out the audio from 1,000 hertz to nothing. And that sounds like this. We have 1,000 hertz, and then we slowly have 1,000 hertz that withers away to nothing. So I'm gonna go over this one more time using a singular audio track like this one. So what I would do normally is decide whether I want to use a high pass or a low pass. I'm going to use a low pass filter, and next I'm going to decide what frequency I want to use. So I'm going to open up the constant folder and drag a few frequencies on there to see what they sound like. That's nice. Let's try 5,000. So not too much of an effect, and let's try 150. Okay, so I really like what 1,000 sounds like. So the next step is deciding what we want to do. So at first, we have a normal audio track, and I honestly want the start of it to just be 1,000 hertz so that I have this constant frequency that I can use to go into something. Now, I'm going to bring that frequency up to a normal sounding audio track, and I want it to last this long. So we know that we're at 1,000 hertz, so I need to fade in the audio from 1,000 hertz. So let's click on 1,000 hertz to normal and drag that on our clip right there. So we're fading from 1,000 into 1,000 to normal right here. Sounds like this. And right here, let's say I want to bring down the audio to 150 hertz really quick. So I'm going to click fade out the audio, and I'm going to do normal to 150 hertz, and that'll sound like this. So we're fading it down, and let's make that 150 hertz last this long. So I'm going to drag a constant of 150 hertz on, and right here, let's just fade that audio out really quick, just like so. So we don't need the rest, and fade out from 150 hertz. So fade out the audio, 150 hertz to nothing. So then that sequence sounds like this. So just like that, you created an effective transition. So if you guys have a question about this preset pack and you're confused about something, hit me up in the comments section below and I will answer all of your questions because I know this is a complex preset packs. Like I said before, all you have to do is understand what you are trying to do, and if you understand what you're trying to do, it's also good to understand what the different frequencies mean by clicking on the constant folder and listening to those. But as always, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe because I'm going to be making more stuff in the future. I'll see you next time.